So are you ready to be accused of being a Disney shill again?
Hang on, was that your introduction?
Oh, yeah, that's my introduction.
Okay.
No. We're not editing that. I want your answer.
Yes, I'm always ready
Okay,
to
good.
being a Disney show.
You know what? If we mess the intros up on this, I don't care.
All right.
Okay, so, well, here's the Disney shill moment. So J.J. Abrams is giving an interview with the Associated Press. Mm-hmm. And they asked him, do you think Rian Johnson derailed the Star Wars story? Mm-hmm. Now, guess what he said?
Well, the naturally cynical part of me thinks that J.J. Abrams knows which side his bread is buttered on.
Oh,
and
sure.
said, no, of course he didn't screw up the story. Everything's going according to plan.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. Now, that might not have been why he said it, but it is what he said. So, as you well know, after 2 years of this movie being up, some people are still a little upset about it.
They're a lot upset about it.
So when I talk about this subject, I try not to get too glib because I really liked The Last Jedi.
I really liked it too.
Yeah, I've heard criticisms that aren't ridiculous to me. So it's like the idea of people not liking it isn't like entirely stupid to me. Mm-hmm. Because I like it doesn't mean that everyone's going to like it.
Sure.
There have been some criticisms that I think are some of the dumbest shit in the world. But a couple of things that I've heard is that they didn't appreciate how they killed Luke off, and also I think they wanted a more action-packed Luke Skywalker than they had. Now, this is different from the argument that his story arc in the movie wasn't very good, because I think it was excellent, like objectively excellent. The other thing that people seem to be pretty upset about that would kind of pertain to what J.J. Abrams has to do is that they killed Snoke off so early. Mm-hmm. Because it seemed like J.J. Abrams was really setting up Snoke to be the big bad of the whole trilogy. Yeah. And it does seem a little bit like killing Snoke was to subvert expectations, which who knows if that was if you're doing that just for the subversion, maybe not so great of a story arc for that character. But now, after we've seen D23 and after we've seen Star Wars Celebration, it makes a little bit more sense to me that they had to kill Snoke because now Palpatine's back.
Oh yeah.
So I think this is what he's talking about. I think J.J. Abrams would have come up with a much less diplomatic, or I guess a more diplomatic answer than he had. But he defended Rian Johnson like pretty readily. It wasn't something where he was just like, yeah, he didn't derail. Next question. So what I'm thinking about is that to address a couple of these criticisms, killing Luke, it's clear that each of the new movies had a original trilogy character that was kind of like the person shepherding the story along for that movie. So like Force Awakens, you had Han Solo. Last Jedi was clearly Luke Skywalker. The intention was that Carrie Fisher was going to play that role for The Rise of Skywalker. Mm-hmm. And of course she tragically passed away. Yeah. That was after they had they had finished filming the movie after she died. So there's no way that they could have known that she wasn't going to be around to not film The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that they were like, okay, we're gonna kill Luke off in this one because Carrie's gonna be around to do the next one.
Yeah.
The Snoke thing makes tons of sense now that we know what we didn't know when we saw Last Jedi, which was that Snoke wasn't meant to be the main bad guy.
There's the cynical conspiratorial idea of J.J. Abrams getting in saying, oh crap, Rian Johnson killed Snoke, now what am I going to do? Thinks for a few minutes, says, oh right, Palpatine, Force Ghosts, let's bring that back.
Yeah, that's fair. He claims that it was a decision that was made fairly early on. So that part, you have to decide whether or not you believe it. Of course, he's not going to just come out and say, Rian Johnson fucked me so hard, and now I don't know what to do. He's clearly not going to say that. I think.
Well, he's not going to say that in public. Behind closed doors, who knows?
Right. I like to believe, I'm going to take him at face value because I don't have much of a problem with Rian Johnson. In fact, the other movies he's made, I think, have been really good. If you've ever seen Looper.
I've heard really good
it's a good movie. The pictures that I've seen that he's made have been good.
I will say that Last Jedi had a very different tone than the other Star Wars movies at this point. It had an aura of irreverence, sort of, that Star Wars generally hasn't had. It was funny. Last Jedi is funny at times, and
Well,
it's not something you generally associate with Star Wars.
Yeah, there are times that it tries to be funny that even for someone who really loved the movie, it didn't quite land for me. And there's a whole sequence in The Last Jedi that I could do without, like the entire thing on Canto Bight. I kind of like, now that I've got it on digital, I just like when I watch the movie, I just kind of skip through it. And it's not because I don't like Poe or I don't like Rose. I think they could have been developed a little bit better, but that storyline, we just didn't need it. Like you could take out the Canto Bight thing, and it really wouldn't change anything in the story.
It doesn't go anywhere dramatic.
Right. Yeah. The whole purpose of it was to try to develop Finn and Rose, and then like the other thing that I had a problem was that they had this weird like the kiss with Rose and Finn at the end felt kind of weird to me. Like that was kind of strange. And then I think the one thing that I would agree with Last Jedi haters, and one of the very few things, is that at the beginning when Rey hands Luke his lightsaber and he just tosses it over his shoulder.
I thought that was perfect for where they were taking the character.
I don't at all, and because he like the way that I would have written it, and this is going to be one of the episodes that we do, by the way, where we're going to do our own Last Jedi rewrites, just like based on selfishness. I would have had Luke just kind of like dropping his arms down to his side and just like dropping it and walking away instead of doing kind of a, you can almost hear the slide whistle like as he throws it over his shoulder. Yeah. Another argument that I've seen a lot is that JJ plans to retcon a lot of stuff to fix the mistakes of Last Jedi, which I'm not necessarily buying either.
I don't think it needs fixing.
I don't think it does either, and I think the retcons that people cite that they expect to happen, if they happen, I don't think that they're JJ's doing anyway. And one that I've seen a lot of is that Force Ghost Luke is going to come back and be a badass.
I think Force Ghost Luke is going to come back.
Well, yeah, I think that's more or less confirmed. And I think that if he does get some kind of action, which I'm not convinced that he will, I think Rian Johnson set that up anyway, because he's kind of the first, Star Wars director to show us that Force Ghosts can have an impact on the physical world.
Yeah, the Yoda's lightning bolt.
Yeah, like he fucked shit up. And it's, if we see Luke throwing lightning bolts around, like, that wasn't J.J. Abrams.
Luke was throwing lightning bolts at Palpatine's ghost.
Yeah.
Who has the Force lightning now, bitch?
Oh, Jesus. That would be good. It depends on what side of the argument you're on, I guess. Which, by the way, let us know your responsible problems with The Last Jedi, or maybe you're like me and you're apparently in the 1% of people who liked it. So leave us a comment below, subscribe to the channel, help us out, get the word out. Make sure that you have your notifications set to get our videos when we put them out. We try to do them every week, a video or two every couple of days after we tape. So, let us know what you think, and we will reach back out to you. And we'll see you guys later.